friends, this is Sheree from Turquoise Dreaming. How's everyone doing today? It is Saturday, so I'm so excited to have a day off and be at home because last weekend I was away. So, you know, it kind of messes up your crafting when you're away. But, you know, I did have that video on the things I worked on while I was away. And so today I'm getting back to these journals. I'm calling them my twine bound journals, because that's my goal, to use twine to bind them, you know, without being sewn in. So I wanted to give you an update on these. And so I have 3 of these that I'm working on, and I think I'm almost done. So that's why I'm doing an update today, to show you where I'm at, in case, you know, maybe this will inspire someone else out there to start some journals like this, or, you know, just let you know what I'm up to. But also, the last couple of nights, my TV craft has been making these little file folders, and you can see here, I made a bunch. So what my goal was in these, and I can do a separate tutorial, but just to tell you what I did real quick, I used, my goal was to use a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper and not have any scraps. So that's why I made them this size. And then also I like to use my one-sided, you know, not the double-sided, but one-sided scrapbook paper on these. First of all, the scrap paper folds a little nicer, and you don't have to worry about it cracking or anything like the cardstock. I've experienced anyway, sometimes if you fold it, for these little file folders, I've had them crack on me or start to crack, and I don't want that. So that's why I just said, you know, let me use some of my one-sided paper, and they come out so pretty. And you can use them for so many different things. You can use them for, you know, little pockets and tuck spots in your journals. You can use them to tuck into pockets. You can use them for even for little cards if you wanted to, you know, use this as a little card and write a little note in here and just, you know, tuck that in something. But just so, I just think they're so useful. So I was out, or almost out, and so I made all of these. Let me just show you the scrapbook paper. So pretty. It was just, I don't even know where I got it or when I got it, but it was just, I wanted some pretty patterns. And so, like, here's just to show you, like, you know, there's some even solid ones in here. You could further decorate these and embellish these, and or write on these, or whatever you might want to do. You can use them for journaling, a journaling spot in the journal, you know, then tape it or glue it in. You could even make a little pocket out of these if you wanted to sew or glue the sides. You know, I just, you know, think they're so useful. I just love these little things. But anyway, I just wanted to show you my little patterns here because they're so pretty. And I just love these. So I only used, I didn't even use that many pieces of scrapbook paper, but what I did was, in order not to waste any, these are 4 inches wide. So, you know, if you divide a piece of 12 by 12 by 4, then you can get 3 sections, 3 4-inch sections out of a piece of scrapbook paper. And then what I did was just cut each 4-inch section in half, you know, lengthwise. So I ended up with what, like, so that would be 2 for each strip, you know, a 4-inch wide by, if you cut it in half, that is 6 inches long. So, you know, strips like that out of a one piece of scrapbook paper. And then I use my envelope punch board to, you know, make the little tabs. And I use my corner rounder to round all the corners on. I rounded all 4 corners, or I rounded these 2 corners right here. And then, you know, anyway, I can do a separate tutorial on these if you want. Just let me know in the comments. It's just that, you know, other people have done them, and it would be a super fast and easy little, you know, tutorial if you wanted me to show you, and I would be totally happy to. I wouldn't mind at all. But just let me know in the comments if you want me to come back and just do a quick little tutorial on that. A super easy, simple, fun one. And then, so let's just get started on a little twine bound journal. So what I ended up doing was, I already showed you the covers in my last video and the pages I had started on. So now I've got all my signatures, and I think I've got 4 or 5 signatures in each one. So like this little one was like one of those little friendship books, friends are like flowers. And these are all vintage books that I used just as a reminder from what I said before in my previous videos. And then what my goal was is to provide pages that these are all from vintage books, okay, different vintage books. So I'm providing you, by doing a twine binding, I'm providing you with either, you can either use it as a journal as it is, or take the pages out and use them in other things. Or if you use this as a journal as it is, then you can move things around if you want. If you say, oh, I want to, or add things. If you have something of your own that you say, oh, I really want to put this in here, then you can do it. And it's really cool how they turn out, because like say you have the pages in here, like, and they're not sewn in. So it's really cool because you say it's like this, and you say, oh, I don't want it like that. I want it like this. I want this up here. Then you can move it up there. And you can do that throughout, oh, I want this in the middle, or, oh, I want this at the bottom, type of thing. And, or I want this over in this signature. And, there's just a lot of flexibility with it. So that's why I'm hoping this really works out. But let me just show you, I'm not doing a flip through today, but I'll show you, basically I've got several book pages, and in my final flip through, I think that's when I'll show you some of the books I used, but several book pages, and like this one has all smaller page, and I did fold some in because I didn't want to cut off some of the beautiful pages, and some of them are delicate because they are from very old, some of them are from very old books. So, like, there's some from colorful ones, there's a lot of neutral ones, and in the middle of each signature, I tried to put something like a card or an envelope. So, like, this is just a junk mail envelope I put in here. And I thought that would be fun to, get creative with. So, like, here's the second signature. And in the middle of this one, another one of those envelopes. It was a little bit hard on this one because I had to look for very small things. This is the actual book. That was this book. So this is all the pages from this book. They're all right here, and there's some cute little pages in here. And so they won't be sewn in. They'll be able to be taken out if you want to take one out and make a tag, or like a journaling spot or journaling card, or cut out one of these little girls or something. Then you'll be able to do that. And then here's the next one. It's just the same thing. This is a vintage card that I put in here. Very pretty. And then there's even, as an example of one of the pages, there's some like children's books. There's, this is from a magazine, like a children's magazine or something like that. This is from a craft book. This is from like a workbook. And I'll show you the book in my final flip through. Like I said, I'm going to show you all the books then. But this was a workbook that was used, and I thought, I just, when I buy the books that I bring home, they kind of call out to me, and they're books that I love. Like, I try to just get books that I love, like, because I look at so many books. For each book that I bring home, I probably look at 25 or 50 books before I pick one out that I bring home. And if you've seen my, Thrifted Treasures videos, I bring home a lot of books. But it's not like I bring home every one I see. I pick out the books that are really seem special to me and that I love. I have to love them. So, like this book right here was a super old, I don't remember the date, but super old book, and it was used. And I even put that in here because, some people like to use that. You can tear that up. You can do whatever you want with it. But, maybe you want to make a grungy journal. So I even included stuff like that in here. So just a lot of fun things. Let's see, the middle of that one was the card, right? Yeah, that vintage card. And like I said, I had trouble finding small things. So this one, not necessarily a vintage card here. And this is probably the only thing in all of these journals that's not vintage. But I needed something small, and it's a bridge tally card. So I put that in the middle of that one because I just wanted to put something special in the middle of each one. So that's the smallest one. let me see, let me get it up right here and move that to the side. The next size up is this one right here. It was the Winnie the Pooh book. And so let me just show you this one. Also, this one has 5 signatures. So like the same type of thing. I'll just show you real quick, kind of a overall flip through one of the junk mail envelopes there in the middle of that one. This one has a card in the middle, a vintage card that has a picture of something in North Carolina here. And just more of the book pages. You know, there's a shorthand page in there. There's even, if I left one in here that was ripped, that was on purpose because, you know, maybe you want to put a ripped page in your journal, or if you don't like that, you can cut it off, you know. You can just do whatever you want with these, you know, do what you like. And there's some color in here. Just really cool. There's a science book pages that I used in here. This is the book, and it is all the pages from the book except for one that I cut out. It's still together. I mean, it'll still be together, but like this one was taped and I left it in here. But the other one that just was really bad, I had to take out. I felt like, you know, it was just torn up. It was too torn up. So I did take one page out. But, you know, the rest of the pages are in here and they look pretty, and, you know, they're all Winnie the Pooh pages. So like I said, you might want to take one out and cut some pictures out and use them somewhere else. So it's just really, really handy to have that in there. And then here's the next signature. You know, nice pages. And this one I've got a big envelope in the middle. And I'm not cutting it or anything because, like I said, it's for you to do what you want. You can take it out. You can flip it. You can cut it up. You can, you know, just do whatever you want to it. And then the last signature, just to show you some of the pages. There's a Reader's Digest craft book page. And the card in the middle of this one is an old card that I had in my stash. It just fit in here perfectly, so I thought I'd put it right there. And that's it. That's where I'm at. So now I'm off to do the twine binding, and I have, like I said, previously, I've never done it before, but I have been inspired by a couple of people. First of all, to get me going on this was JD from Willowbound Journals. She did some, and I thought, you know, that is exactly what I want to do. I've been wanting to do something like that, and that she's done it, and I want to do it too. So I made these like this with the pages. And then for the twine binding, I looked at quite a few and found a tutorial from, I think it was 2014 or 2015. But I found one by Ephemera's Vintage Garden that was exactly what I had in mind, because I had seen it before. I just didn't know who I had seen do it. So I did a search and found her tutorial, and it's just exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm going to follow her tutorial on the twine binding and see how these come up. But I just love, love, love how she did it. And it looks so beautiful on the spine. If you want to go look at that video, Ephemera's Vintage Garden, just search for that with twine binding, and it should pop up. But it just looks so beautiful on the outside here, and that's what I wanted to do. So I will work on that, and maybe even do one on, you know, if I get a couple of these books done and they come out really good, and I feel like I can do it on camera, maybe I'll come back and do one on camera, or maybe even just, well, if you watch Ephemera's Vintage Garden, you gotta do it all together, one whole book. So I couldn't just do one signature. I'd have to do a whole book on camera. So anyway, that's all my you know, blabbing for today, and I hope you enjoyed it and are inspired. You know, that's what I'm here for, to inspire and hopefully give you some ideas, and just, you know, by letting you know what I'm working on. And, you know, maybe you're trying to think of something. That's what happens to me. I'm trying to think, and I've got it roaming around in my head, and then I watch a video and I say, that's exactly what I was trying to think of, but, you know, I didn't, you know, maybe bring it all together. So hopefully this will help you bring it all together, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting and have a great Saturday.